a lot of you guys have known me from my former company of TVJ Media, and I sent out an email, and I have actually formally resigned from that company. But don't worry, if you have outstanding projects with that company, I'm still going to ensure everything is taken care of. I just had to take my name off the bank accounts, off of the everything else, so that I could continue to do business as a business development representative for Capital Title. So don't worry, don't panic. I want to make sure you guys are taken care of. I appreciate your relationships and your business that you have brought to me. And if it wasn't for that company and what I did there, I wouldn't be able to do what I do today. So if you haven't done business with us before, that's fine. I'm still going to take care of you consulting-wise, and hope you get everything you got out of it before. So today we're going to talk about email marketing and a little bit about what we had talked about before. Can anybody tell me what the hottest lead possible is? Do you all remember that from the last class? Referral. So what we're doing here, if you're a brand new agent and you don't have a database, like Mr. Gonzalez, this class is not for you to start immediately tomorrow. That's not for you. Unless you come as an agent that has a ton of people already in your database, like over 100, then this class probably isn't for you to implement tomorrow, but something to think about in the near future. Because what email marketing does is about getting the hottest lead possible. What's that? A referral, right? So your emails have to be highly shareable, which means they're HTTP friendly, which means you can post them on your social media, and you can also hit that forward button very easily so that they can easily share it. You don't want it to be too technical, too markety, so that people are like, I don't want to forward this to my friend. It needs to be warm, it needs to be inviting, so that when you hit that forward button to your friend or your people, your sphere of influence hit that forward button, it's not going to seem too techy, too technical. So that being said, let's go ahead and start about it. Today we're going to talk about an introduction to email marketing, why it's important, talk about different email marketing strategies, campaign strategies, how to build your database. Mr. Gonzalez, that's going to be good for you to learn how to build your database because you're just starting out. Devise a system that works for you. I was talking about this with Amanda for her team. Finding a system that works for you and your needs, and then we're also going to a conclusion, which is going to cover a little bit of everything. So, an introduction to email marketing. Why is it important? According to the Direct Marketing Association, for every $43 spent, you make a return on investment. For every $43 that you spend on email marketing, you're making a sale. So if you buy the system's already $99 or something, you're going to see an immediate return on that just by generating, again, those referral rates. So how many of you are already working with a drip campaign that you're running right now? Sort of. How have y'all gotten anything from that, and how are you using that? Have you gotten anything from it lately?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. What I'm also going to talk to you about today, and that what I know Frank has in the works as well, is the video email marketing. And I know a Remax agent from Integrity, and she's a very personal friend of mine. She actually helped me get exposed to Capital. She does a monthly market update for her specific neighborhood. And she'll get at the information from her. She'll sit in front of the TV or her webcam, and it's real simple. It's not technical. She's not wearing a microphone. It's just straight from her webcam. She does a market update, and she provides the documents that she's talking about in that same email. So when the person receives the email, the video pops up, you click play, and the attachments for the market update are right there. So after they view the video, they can actually go in and read the documents that she was talking about. And she gets 2 or 3 from that a month, 2 or 3 listings from that a month. And it works for her, and it's like the main heartbeat of her business. Email is highly measurable. If you got an email marketing system, it's going to tell you who's opening your emails, how often they're being emailed, and also you can actually integrate your email into your CRM system. And I got a little preview of Remax's new system that they have coming up. I highly recommend you guys get it. It is awesome. It can it imports from Facebook, so all of your contacts are going to have not just their names and their phone numbers, it's going to have their picture. So it's really, really good for you guys. If you're not using that system, and I'd suggest you talk to Frank about implementing that, maybe getting onto that system, because I've looked at it and it's a little hard to get used to. But after you get that first kind of email campaign going, you can edit your website right there. It puts social media, website, and email all under one umbrella. And that is just something I know you guys are looking for, so I highly recommend it. Email is also highly customizable. You can customize your campaigns for buyers. You can customize a campaign for sellers. You can send out blasts for your listings. Those are different types of tools you can customize your campaigns for. It's also very proactive. You're not reacting to the market. So like during the summer, you're going to see a whole lot of Facebook advertising go on in your face marketing. That's reactive marketing. That's reacting to the marketing. Proactive is going out there seeking relationships. Again, in our last class, I talked about how it's CRM is in social media. Do y'all remember that? How it's about developing relationships? That is one of the biggest things. Email is the same way. How many of you have, since I did the last class, how many of you put your social media links in your email signature? None of you. Oh, come on, guys.
Oh, I have it.
That you have to do that. How many? So now I'm also going to teach you today is how to put a link so that people can receive more information from you on their email. So you can put a link. If you want to receive my newsletter, ? Click here. They can click there and be directed straight into your newsletter. So how many of you are using email to, let's say, try to get listings or sellers campaigns? Are you using that at all? Using that? And that you said you've gotten a lot of results. What about buyers? Are y'all reaching out to buyers on there as well? Are you blasting out your listings at all, or no?
On email?
On email? No? Okay. I'm just trying to get a feel for what you guys are doing. Okay. So how many of you guys have a landing page on your website that directs them into your email marketing campaign? Nobody? Okay. So what you need to do is to use your website to help develop your email marketing, as well as open houses in your office, social media, and of course, we already talked about the email signature and promotional products. So these are all just different strategies to build your database. I'm going to go over each and one of these. How many of you have used Open Home Pro before? Used it before? Good. We're going to talk about that a little bit, and for those of you that haven't used it before, I'm going to show you how to use that, how to basically get your email marketing going on that end as well. So how to use your database using your website. When prospective buyers and sellers visit your website, you can ask for their contact information and preferences by placing web forms in the appropriate location on your site. Web forms are just another word for landing pages. So whenever, say if you have a listing, or say if you have a buyer's page or a seller's page, you can direct them to that page, and then they can enter their first name, last name, email, and if they're interested in the listing or if they're interested in becoming a buyer or seller. For sellers, create a page that explains how you can help them sell their home promptly for the best possible price. Maybe you can put a little glimpse of your listing presentation on there. Not the whole entire thing, but maybe just a few slides that highlight why you're there. And make it. There's a way that you can make it highly interactive. You can do swipe side to side, kind of get it going and say, oh wow, this is really cool. For buyers, create a separate page with a different web form that offers another kind of email featuring homes for sale and other pertinent information. So you could put on there your listings that you already have on the buyer's page, and tell them what and then a very good thing. How many of you are ABR certified? Pretty much everybody, right? So that's another good thing to have on your buyer's page. Accreditations are highly important. Let's see. You can ask for as little or as much information as you'd like on your forms. My suggestion is that you keep it as simple as possible. Name, phone number, email. You don't want to get if you get too many forms, then they'll start typing. They'll get tired, and then you end up losing that lead. And especially if you're using pay-per-click advertising, you definitely want to get as much as you can for your money.
Do you recommend requiring the phone number?
I do. I would recommend requiring the phone number, just so that if I get a lead, I'm going to call them ASAP, especially if I'm a new agent and I don't have anything else going on. I'm definitely going to do that. But also, if I'm a new agent, I don't suggest you do a pay-per-click advertising. I really don't. I think if you're a brand new agent and you don't have your database built up, you need to hit the pavement, you need to hit the streets, you need to be doing farming, in my opinion. That's just what I would do. If email marketing, and my suggestion is to somebody who has a well database, somebody who has that database built up, so they can get that referral. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to help. I'm looking to help my relationships grow and help benefit my database. I'm not looking to just grab leads and get it and turn and burn. That's not what I teach. I teach relationship marketing through email, through social media, and through web, so that you can not only help your buyers, but in every business, I think you could all agree that relationships is what makes your business. And so that's what I teach. I teach how to maintain those relationships, automate those relationships, so that when you're out doing a listing presentation, when you're out closing on homes, meeting with inspectors, things like that, your emails are being sent out
I have a question. Somebody may know the answer. Our new homes.com site consolidates leads from a variety of sources. Does anybody know if it will take the lead directly from Open Homes Pro and put it into our homes.com CRM? Okay.
I don't think that it will. I think you have to still manually do it. That's when I meet with everybody, that's what they want. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to work with. I was like, man, if I could develop that app that could do that. So, but I don't have time for that stuff anymore. So I was just, oh man, that would be really cool. But this is again another non-online method of getting some emails in your system, in your office. In-person meetings are especially helpful looking to grow your subscriber list. If you get a meeting with a buyer or seller, be sure to get their email, be sure to get their information so that you can put them into your CRM. If you're not, you're wasting an hour of your time. You're not completely wasting it, but the follow-up is what's key. You know, if you meet with them and they're still not sure about it, you have to follow up with your customers. And the easiest way to automate it is just to put them directly into the system, into your email marketing. If you have a buyer's campaign and these are first-time home buyers and they're still not sure about the whole process, you put them into that buyer's campaign and reassures them that you know everything that they need to, or you reassures them that you are a professional and that you can represent them and that this process is a little daunting without you, stuff like that, reassuring them. Then you don't have to sit there and type up emails your whole time. You're not wasting your day doing that. So have your campaigns lined up that you want to run, buyers, sellers, listing campaigns. And every time you meet with somebody, put them into a category so that when you categorize that individual, they'll be receiving your information automatically. You don't have to manually type emails. That's going to save you a lot of time. Yes, ma'am.
Kyle, I have a question
Mhm.
for people in the room. How do you gather those campaigns, put those campaigns together? Are you using what's available on Remax or not doing it at all? I'm just curious.
Not doing it all right now.
You're not doing it at all?
Buffini.
Anybody else?
I use Buffini.
You use Buffini?
Buffini is great. Buffini does really well. And there's the ones on Remax are good too. And then there's also a site I can show you that you can get a whole load of campaigns from. With my old company, I wouldn't show you this, but I can show you a site that you can get this type of information from and can run those campaigns. So I'll be glad to talk with you guys after and kind of show you how to obtain this type of information.
I've got a question too.
Mhm.
If somebody opts out of your email, first of all, does that tag you as a spammer if they simply unsubscribe or opt out? And then secondly, if they do unsubscribe or opt out, am I still able to send them other email messages, or is my address blocked from that point of sending them anything?
That's actually a really good question, Frank. And again, what Frank just asked is, if somebody opts out, will I be spammed, or will I be blocked from them ultimately? No, you will not be spammed because they actually opted in themselves to this campaign. If you opt into the campaign and they click yes, I want to receive information from you, then no, you will not be marked as spam once they opt out. Now, if you take a lead and you input them in there and you don't get their permission to receive this information and you start sending them information, then you will be spammed and you'll be marked as a spammer.
Well, but they didn't, I'm saying it, because some of us have lists, and people haven't opted in, but these are our sorority brothers or fraternity brothers. Okay, so we know them, right? But they haven't specifically opted in, but we want to reach out to them via email. And they didn't click this is spam, they simply clicked unsubscribe.
No.
Does that hurt me?
No, that will not hurt you.
Okay,
If they click this is spam, yes, it will.
okay, I got
It will
you.
definitely hurt you. And another thing is, no, you will not be able to send them any more information on the email marketing campaigns. But yes, you will be able to email them directly from your email address. Because there's a little DNS setting that kind of differentiates what's going out as what, if it's going out as a newsletter, if it's coming directly from your email. So you can still send the messages directly from your email.
Part of that depends on the system that you're using and their rules, doesn't it? Like Constant Contact is very strict
Yes.
about spam. I don't know about a lot of other email
It is.
systems, but
Some of them are very different. Some of them you actually have to like what Frank was saying, just emailing your sorority sisters or fraternity brothers. Some of those you can't just input them in there. You have to have them opted in from a page. Some of it just kind of depends on what your needs are and where you're looking to market and how you're looking to market. If you're a beginning agent like Mr. Gonzalez, I would just get something that's free and really easy to use, and that's called MailChimp. MAIL chimp, like chimpanzee. It is completely free, unless you buy like the advanced settings. But you can go in there and you can make. Well, I remember I was talking about making it highly shareable. You can make HTTP friendly email marketing campaigns that you can post on social media and post on your website, and they can actually click different things. You can link them to your YouTube. You can link them to your Facebook page, and that is what I would use if you're just kind of starting out and you're just getting your email marketing system going. And also, I suggest using MailChimp is because then you can import all your contacts whenever you once you build up your database, Mr. Gonzalez, you can then import that database into pretty much any CRM system available. MailChimp is highly compatible with a lot of them. And if it's not compatible, then you can just import it or export it as what they call a CSV file, which then pretty much all of them can use. So if you're just starting out, MailChimp is definitely the best one for
Do
you.
you recommend it over Constant Contact?
For beginning agents, yes.
Okay, because it's free or because?
Because it's free,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Because you don't. I mean, if you're paying Constant Contact anywhere between 40 and 100 something a month,
Right.
that's a lot. That's expensive for a beginning agent who hasn't got their first listing yet. And so I would suggest using it and just getting out there. And then once it's actually is compatible with Constant Contact, so you can take your list and just import your campaigns, everything directly into Constant Contact. Once you get your database built up, and once you're going to start, hitting email marketing a whole lot harder.
Gotcha, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Use your signature. Now, last time I talked to you guys about using your signature for social media, and nobody did it. It made me very sad. But that's okay. You can this time you can use your email signature to help them opt into your campaign. Your daily email correspondence. Think about that. How many emails are you guys sending out a day to your database, to your people, to other people? You're sending out a lot, probably close to 100. And especially if you're doing a lot of business with inspectors and different people like that, you need to use that. That is basically a free platform for you to say, hey, I'm on Facebook, hey, I'm on Twitter. Opt into my email marketing campaign. Don't just blow up your whole signature with everything that you have. Select what you're really trying to promote. If you're really trying to get your Facebook business page saw, if people to see it, kind of get it heard, kind of get word out there, then put your Facebook link on there. If you're really trying to get people into your email database, that would be my personal favorite, because email is more personal than any other type of digital marketing that you can do. It has your picture on there and your email signature. If you don't have your picture in your email signature, definitely get that on there. Branding, self-branding is very important, and getting yourself seen that way. Also, okay, we already talked about links. So if you're sending information out, if you want to say, for more information for buyers, click here. For sellers, click here. You probably only want to choose one campaign to put on your signature. You don't want to just say put all of your different campaigns there. So if you're looking to get more sellers, you're looking to get more buyers, or you're just looking to get your listings more visual, then I would just put that line on there. If you would like to view my listings in a newsletter, please click here. They click in there, they go to the page, and they're able to type in their information and receive your newsletter. Insert a text hyperlink, so that would be really beneficial. Again, you can't just put up a link and magically have them entered into your database. Make sure that you have a landing page set up that is directed from directed into your CRM.
Kyle, before you get away from that, a lot of us use Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I try to put a photo or even extended text information in my signature, I get this error message that there's too much data. And I mean, if I just go to 6 lines of data with no photo, I get the error message. And it does not allow me to put a photo in at all. It just freaks out that the file is too big, even if it's a small file. Is there a workaround for that?
Yes, what you can do is, there's actually a workaround. You can do what I would do is I would make sure are you doing a PNG or a JPEG file, do you know?
Probably a JPEG.
You want to go to PNG first and try that.
Okay.
If going to a PNG is going to be your best friend on the web, if you don't know that already. A PNG file on the website, on your Facebook, on anything, it can be stretched, it can be moved out, it's not going to pixelate, it will eventually, but it's probably the best file that you can have on the web is a PNG file.
Okay.
Try that first. If that doesn't work, then we can go into making it an HTTP friendly signature,
Okay.
which will be separated. But you can, there's an option in Gmail to make one, and I could help you make one yourself. And that way you're just kind of skipping over that whole Gmail step. You can basically just input all that information yourself and not have to worry about it. So that's what I would suggest to you guys, is definitely using an HTTP friendly signature, so that no matter where people are logging in from, you can do it. So that'd be good. Thank you. All right, Facebook business page. If you have a Facebook business page, chances are you have followers who have never interacted with you on your website. Set up your call to action feature. Has anybody done that yet? Do you know what your call to action feature is? All right, let me show you. Let's get on there.
Oh,
Ah, gee, who's that?
Okay, so this little feature right here is called the call to action. And that is a very important feature on there. You can change it to view my videos. You can change it to, we can actually show you. You can go to, if you click on it, then you can go down to edit call to action. Click on there. And then you can change it to whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be contact us, if you want it to be a call now, book now, send message, use app, play game. I mean, the information here is, crazy that you could do. What I would do is I would, just like Marsha has set up, I'd do contact us, so that you're getting that, again, that name, that phone number, that email. That would be the best thing that I would suggest. So I would keep it just like that. I'm not going to change anything on Marsha's page. Cancel. And so that way, you're getting the best information. You're getting that name, the phone number, the email. You're not just giving them a contest. You're not giving them a video. Unless you're really, really trying to push a listing, then you could direct them to that listing video if you have a home tour up or things like that. It's really kind of what you have going at this time and what you want to implement if you're really trying to push listings or if you're really trying to push getting people into your database. So that's a really good way. If you're not using your Facebook business page to direct business to your website, that's okay. But there's a way that you want to do it. If you're going to be running a lot of buyers campaigns, a lot of sellers campaigns on your email, you want to make that. It's going to make it easier on you to use the same information you're blasting on your email. Make it the same information that you're putting out on your social media. That way you don't have to come up with posts. You don't have to do everything. If you have all those campaigns already provided from you from Remax, that's great content to post on social media as well. All you have to do is go use that same content, go find a picture that correlates with that certain post, like a for sale sign if you're doing something like that, and just throw it up there. Link them back to your website. That's going to be something like, so you don't have to come up with creative posts all the time. You can just go directly into your email marketing campaigns from Remax, copy and paste that to your, don't put the entire email on there, but put the main subject, tell them a little bit more information. If they want more information, they can get it from your email newsletter. That's a perfect way to get people into your newsletter. Is say, hey, this is a little tidbit from my email marketing or my newsletter that I'm sending out. And you copy and paste a little message from it, something really interesting that Remax gave you. And if you want to receive more of this type of information, click here. They click here, they go to their landing page, they insert their information. Now you got them in your email database. Does anybody have any questions about that? Does that just kind of... do not worry if this seems to be a little bit over your heads. I've talked to all of my people already that have done business with me in the past. I will sit down with you one-on-one, no matter how many times it takes, to make sure that you get all the information that you need. And especially the people that did business with me before, I want to make sure that they're taken care of. And if you haven't, I want to sit down with you and show you how to do these things one-on-one. If this class is just too over your head, again, it's going to take a series of one-on-one meetings that I'm here to help you with. If you have an assistant that works with you, bring them along. If you have a marketing company you're working with, or you have somebody that's working with your marketing, bring them along. I'll be happy to help you guys out and show you how to do all this stuff yourself, so that you're not struggling with the technology side of things. Okay, Twitter. Encourage your Twitter followers to sign up to your email list and share the link to the sign-up form in a tweet. So that is really simple to do. You just copy and paste your landing page, and you post that into your tweet. It's really, really easy. And if you guys have a question, I will show you how to do this. Let's go to Twitter. Where are we at, Twitter? There we go. Okay, so how to copy and paste. If I'm on a website, say I want everybody, say this Facebook page right here is my landing page. This is the page that I have set up for people to input their information into. I'm now going to go to my profile, and I'm going to go to my Twitter, and I have my landing page copied and pasted. Anybody see how I do that? You need me to go back and do that. You got that? Okay. So now in that upper right hand corner, you're going to see the little feather and a little square. That's your new tweet. So you're going to click on the new tweet button, and then you're going to just click on there, right click if you're using a computer, and hit paste. And then now that link is now hyperlinked into your tweet itself. So whenever you're sending out tweets, you can say if you're doing a buyer's campaign, hey buyers, you're looking at how to stage your home, get your house, or no, that'd be sellers. If you're a first time home buyer struggling with the process, click this link for more information. They click that link and then they're directed to your landing page, which then gives them information about you. So they see your ABR, they see your certifications, then they input their name and their phone number and their email. So that's how you do that, real easy. And if you have trouble after this, I'd love to sit down with you and schedule a series of one-on-one meetings to make sure you're doing what you understand what you need to be doing on Twitter and email marketing.
So Kyle, I know that you were on her Facebook page when you did that copy of the URL.
Mm-hmm.
Were you on a specific post?
No, what that will, another way to, what I can do is actually show you, you can name your Facebook business page. And which you have to have 30 followers or 30 likes. And if once you get those 30 followers or 30 likes, you can actually name your page. And let's see. Marsha, can I show them on yours? Is that cool? Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you just go into your settings, and you would. That would be
Just,
it.
it's a work in progress.
No judgment.
Go to page. It's actually really glitchy right now. And there we go, settings. So you're gonna go to your settings, and then that will give you the name of your page.
And I want to change it, I think.
You can only change it like once or
One
twice
time,
after
yeah.
that.
I've heard once even.
Oh yeah, it's not, they
It's probably under page info, so
there
you,
we go, yeah.
so you have to get it right the first time? Cause you can never change it.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I
Scary,
have-
it's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
I have changed mine, but I think you only get like one change, you know, so you gotta be sure.
Security.
Think carefully about it.
It's taking me, it's redirecting me everywhere every time I go.
Hmm.
Page info. It's
You
actually
trying
really
to just
glitchy.
get the name of the?
Yeah, just go to the name of the page. It's usually under the settings, and like she said, page info.
What's the URL that you're at right now? Because doesn't the URL show the name of the page?
Yeah, we have
There you go.
Marsha Soderberg Remix to Woodlands and Spring.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
but you have to get again 30 likes in order to be able to make your change edits. And I just did this last week with Ranger.
So
And-
that's the actual name of the page?
Mhm.
Ooh, okay. Well, the reason might be because that was, Remax the Woodlands and Spring was just added about 7 days ago.
Okay,
Where's the name?
right there.
Yeah, oh, right there, yeah,
Mhm.
okay,
Name.
oh, yikes.
The second
Okay.
line down, Kyle.
You don't
Second
like
line
that?
down. Well, it wasn't my intention to, yep, it wasn't my intention, but it's okay. So here would be the thing, if for some reason, which I have no intention of doing, I were to leave Remax the Woodlands and
Right.
Spring, that's now a part of my business page,
Right.
name.
Well, that part you can change. You can always change your page name. What you can't change is your URL.
Okay, so this is not associated with the URL itself then?
Well, it
Okay.
is right now because we haven't changed it. But once we,
Yeah.
if we, I don't know why it's not, it doesn't have, oh, there we go. No, that's not it. Category, short description, price range, department, email. I can find it. I don't want to take up any more of your time. So we can find that, but there's a way to give your Facebook a custom URL. And what I would do is I'd suggest giving that Facebook page a search engine friendly URL. So facebook.com/WoodlandsRealtor. Now, if that one's available, as soon as this class is over, I'll go do that. So it would be erased back to your laptops. But I would definitely suggest that one because that's way you're popping up for that search engine. And if you're going to make, again, remember we talked about in the last class, making all of your marketing sync up. Like if you're going to go the Woodlands Realtor route, then your website needs to be set up for the same way. It needs to have your name, Woodlands Realtor, and then that's probably pretty much it. That's the way you want to go to, or set up Woodlands and then have that little SEO pipe there, and then Realtor. And then so your Facebook is facebook.com/Woodlands Realtor. When people type in your website, if they're going to like Robin's website, robinkidsmiller.com, then when they pull it up in that SEO setting, I can show you what it looks like. If you have your website set up, let's go to Google. There we go. See, Google just, they don't really need it. But this is where your page titles pop up, is this right here. That's where they're all popping up. So, and for instance, when we type it in, it should say Robin Kidsmiller Wyndham, and have a little SEO pipe, and then Woodlands, and then another one, and then Realtor. So if they're just typing in Woodlands, you still capture them. If they're just typing in Realtor, you still capture them there. If they're searching for in the Woodlands, so that's how you separate it. So they don't have to search for Woodlands Realtor. If they search for Woodlands Realtor, you're still popping up. Or if they just search for Woodlands, you're popping up. If they just search for Realtor, because you separated those keywords with that little pipe thing. That's very important as well. So,
Would you have only one community in there, Kyle, or can you do multiples?
what I suggest, and we talked a little bit about this, and I really harp on this, is stay in a small community first. Take over that one first, because you can't. If you try to take over Houston, your efforts are pretty much futile. I believe. Because the way the search engine works, it works off of traffic, how many people are going to your website. It works off of how optimized it is for keywords. And it also works on how old your website is. If you just got your website up in the last couple of months, it's not going to be as powerful as one that's been there around for 6 years, and it never will be. That's just something that you can't fight against. Only way you can fight against those websites that are older than yours is to pay for pay-per-click advertising through Google or Facebook or something like that. Then you start generating that traffic and you start competing with them that way. So what I suggest is taking over a small community first. If you're starting out, Woodlands is still a little bit too big. I'd maybe go Wood Forest. I'd maybe go the other communities. Grogan's Mill. I will start out in those little ones first. Make sure that I'm popping up number one on Google for those, and then move on to the Woodlands. And then once I could get traffic there, then I'll start taking, because the more, if you want to take over an entire community, you have to have several pages for it. You need to have your name set. If you just have one page, if you just have Robin Kidsmiller Wyndham, and then it has Wood Forest, and then that's all you have, like Remax or something else set up, and you're only having one page, you're not doing yourself any justice. You need to have about 5 or 6 of those pages. Make one of them a landing page, make other them just informative pages set up, so that, and you also need to be directing them from social media to those pages. So if you need to find out your area, and then you need to market to that area all the time until you basically take that area over. And that's the way I would do it. And that's the way that I've seen all of my clients in the past do it when I helped them out, especially like in the Cypress area, because Cypress was small enough to kind of attack, but now it's blown up. So, but once you get that spot, then you're pretty much set. You're pretty much permanent at that spot. If you get a whole lot of pages set up for a specific area that you're wanting to farm, if you get like 5 or 6 pages, I'd even go up to 10 pages for just one single farm. If you want that to be recognized as you online, you want Wood Forest really, really bad, I'd set up 10 pages about it on my website. And in that way, that gives you 10 pages to direct from social media. So you can say, so you're not doing the same post. So if you're talking about Wood Forest today, you could have one page dedicated to Wood Forest Parks and Recreation, one page for Wood Forest churches, one page for Wood Forest events, and to keep that page updated. So there's different ideas and different ways to attack it, but again, the more pages that you have, the better. And that's why whenever you sign for a website, that's why people want to sell you on a whole lot of pages, is because it does benefit you in having those pages, but they have to be optimized. So make sure that you know your campaign strategy, your marketing strategies behind all of this before you go and dive into something like that. You want to say, hey, I know what I want. I know what I want set up. This is what I need to be doing. So now we're going to talk about campaign strategies. We talked a little bit how to build your database and things like that. Now, once you have your database set up, this is where you want to go, is into campaign strategies. A regular newsletter. This is people think, people just throw that away. You would actually be surprised to how many people look forward to a real estate agent's newsletter. It's about holidays, birthdays, all that different type of information. Again, we talked about the video one of the current market. These are really, really easy to do, and the benefits from them are just huge. You, whether you send out weekly or monthly, it doesn't matter. As long as you have something and they want it, they opted into it, they want to receive this information, it's very, very beneficial. I would suggest doing, the first campaign that I would ever set up for any one of my clients at my whole company, it would be a holiday newsletter. It might seem cheesy, it might seem corny, like, oh, Merry Christmas with a little puppy with a Santa Claus hat on. It doesn't matter. That works. It works. People like to say, oh, wow, I didn't know she was thinking of me. You know, that's really cool. And I think that's a really good tool. How many of you are doing the holiday thing already? Is anybody doing it? Robin, I know you're doing it. You're doing that. That's a really good tool. I know Remax, they have templates already laid out for you. It's really easy just to log into your Remax, throw a Christmas picture on there, and send it out. And what you can do is you can actually set up your holiday campaign. You can set up, go in there, create a campaign yourself. And that'd actually be a good class, Frank, if you wanted to. We could do like a technical campaign class, and we could use the Remax, and I could show them how to design their own campaigns using the Remax platform.
Yes.
That would be cool. And so that way, this is more. Again, like if you got, like I know how to work the Remax system. If you want to set up a one-on-one with me, I'd be glad to sit down with you and show it to you. But that's what I would do. I would set that up throughout the year so that you don't have to, around Christmas, remember to send out your email. At the beginning of the year, line up your entire holiday campaign. Do Christmas. There's all kinds. They actually have the holidays laid out for you inside of Remax. You don't even have to remember all of them. Easter, St. Patrick's Day, all these things are already in there laid out with templates, and they're really beautiful. They're really nice, designed by the marketing professionals there, and they work out really good. So I suggest that if you don't have that technical savvy to go in there and design them, it's really easy, and I can show you how to just point and click, and then once I show you how to do it, you'll be able to do it all yourself, and it's really easy. Your listings. So I know, Robin, you said you weren't putting out your listings in email, right?
Mm-mm.
How many, is anybody putting out their emailing about their listings? Not really? Okay, this is something that's, you're probably going to get more opt-outs of than any other thing, because people just kind of like, whatever, listings. But it's actually highly beneficial to those people that are home buyers, and also beneficial to you for people to hit that forward button. Creating top of mind is what you always want to do. So if you're on Facebook and you have a lot of people following you on Facebook and things like that, hitting that share button is just the exact same result as them hitting that forward button. But actually you're getting a personalized and a higher value when they hit that forward button, because they're forwarding to somebody they think could use that house. So while it's a little bit more marketing and while it's a little bit colder than your personalized, holiday list, the listings marketing still works very well for those that there's a lot of people on Facebook that when they see something, they tag their friend in it. They say, oh, this is really cool, you would love this. It's the same thing when you get an email like, oh, I know Susan would love this house, let me forward it to her. That's what you're trying to create. You're trying to create something that would be shareable, easily shareable, and make it really easy for them to hit that forward button. That's what you want to do with your listings. And again, it's another way just to connect with your the buyers that maybe you haven't officially signed the representation forms and stuff like that. You're not officially their buyer's agent yet. Maybe you want to get some more information, like, hey, send out another listing to them. Get them to remind them again, hey, we had that meeting last week. Check out my new listing. It's in your price range. I saw it's in your area, so maybe we could get back and connect. That way you could get both contracts. You could be the buyer and the seller on that contract, which would be good.
Wait, I have a question. Okay, so
Sure.
I'll come back on this. So you're sending it just to one person? You're not sending it to like a mass?
Oh no,
emails?
what you would do is you would set up a campaign you would set up all the people that want to receive information
Okay.
for your listings. So what you could do is like on I think it was on Marsha's site that we had where it said it's still under construction. It said click here to view my listing. So you could have like a page on your website that says click here to view my listing. So everybody that clicks there is automatically sent to that category, and they receive that
And then
information.
those are the ones you're emailing?
Correct.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
Yes, sir.
Kyle, I think one of the difficulties or challenges that most people would have is correlating an email campaign that specifically targets a geographical area,
Mm-hmm.
because that calls for identifying those people in a specific area to send emails to.
Yes.
And so I think that, most of us will have a sphere or a database that is a composition of people from many different areas in many different price ranges. So when you suggest to targeting an email campaign for a specific listing, you have to take in consideration many different things. And geographics is one, but economics is another.
Mm-hmm.
Sending something, if you get a nice listing in the 800,000-900,000, you may have people that are at a much lower level, $200,000-300,000, that you would they would see it as irrelevant. And
Yes.
so identify the specific group that you're sending this campaign to would be extremely important.
Yes.
And that is time consuming, because
Yes.
to go through a database of 200 or 300 people to identify, let's say, 15 people that this particular listing would target, could take you a couple of hours.
Yes. And there's two things that you could do to do that. What you could do is be sure to send it. If you send it to everybody, then you're sure to hit those 10 or 15 people that see it. And again, if they want to receive this information, they'll have opted into it. So if you send it to your entire list of people that receive your list, you could create a category that says listings, and no matter what their price range is, or they may know somebody. So again, the point is not to maybe directly email them, but it's for them so that they can hit that forward button. If you have a really good relationship with everybody on your listings profile or on your listings category for your email, they more than likely might know somebody in that price range. So if they hit that forward button, it's just as important as them hitting that reply button back to you.
So do you suggest that perhaps in a hyperlink, reduce or include the listings in various price categories for the hyperlink?
I think
listings between 200 and 400, listings between 400 and 600.
Personally, I think the more categories you have in your email marketing campaigns, the better. So if you have a people that are set up in your campaign, like listings 2 to 4, listings 5 to 6, and listings 750 to 1 million, if you can categorize your database like that, yes, the more the better, because that way you're sending out more targeted emails. So if you can go, again, it'd be time consuming, but if you could set your database up like that to where you can send out specific, that would be great. That would be the more, again, I always say this in email marketing, the more categories the better, the more campaigns the better.
And I don't question that. The only thing that, and I'm not trying to be negative, my hesitation is agents are doing very little marketing to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
To expect them to go to that level, it's a little bit down the road, I think.
Yes, and that's why I say if you are just starting out, email marketing probably should not be something you put your focus into. And if you have an assistant, if you have people on your team that are helping you and they have the time and you're paying them for their time, I would get them to do it. Because email marketing is very personable. It's very beneficial. I think honestly, if you were to take away from this, if you could do one campaign, if you were just to take this information that I'm giving you today, if you could do one campaign, it's that farming video email campaign. It's sitting in front of that webcam and saying, hey, this is this month's marketing report or this month's sales report for Wood Forest. Homes we're selling, and if you're doing that and you're sending that to the people in Wood Forest, because if you have those people in your database, if you could have them broken into where you sold their home for or where you helped them buy that home for, that's the best campaign you can run, and I promise you that you'll get something out of it. And if you could set up that campaign, that video, hey, monthly report, sales are up right now. You could sell your home for at the highest rate in the last 3 months. If you could give those people that information, I promise you, I've seen it work. And that's not even something I came up with. I can't take credit for that. That's something that I've just, in my experience, I've saw an agent doing, and it works. So if you can just do one campaign and just say, okay, you know what, I don't want to do all the different categories. That's just too much for me right now. If you can do one thing, I would do that video, the market update, and helping them out with that.
Kyle, I have a question. So, because my fear would be is if I sent my listings to a broad range of people, and you know the listing was 500,000, and these people were actually looking at 200,000, and they say I don't want to see this anymore and opt out. That would be my fear with that, is that now they're not going to ever get any ones that
Information.
would be directed to them.
Yes, and that's why I would categorize my listings people very, very precisely. If you think that that's the type of people that opt out, then I would for my listings I would just set up a website page for it, and only send them out to the people that actually sign up for those listings. And if you have buyers that you're trying to attract and you're emailing them, just email them different. Don't send them your listings. You guys know your database better than I do. All I can suggest to you is things that I've seen work, and the things that I know that work, and things that can help you expose. Yes, sir.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm thinking is that in the context of the email itself, I think if you frame it correctly, you can target your entire database and formulate or suggest perhaps that this information may not be necessarily directed to them. But who do you know that may be interested
Exactly.
in this property? It's an excellent opportunity in Wood Forest, to use your example.
Yes.
And if you know anyone who's interested in a beautiful, location,
Exactly.
beautiful newer home, you may forward this.
Yes.
Therefore, they know that you're not targeting them personally. Just a thought.
That goes back to the very beginning of the class. I said making your messages highly shareable. That's what you want. You want to encourage them to hit that forward button without directly saying hit the forward button. You want, like you said, who you may know, or or your parents, or the friend. You got to create that top of mind with your message. And that's why I said I don't know your databases. You know your databases. That's why the greatest benefit is sitting down with you, each one of you one-on-one, and looking at you, and no longer am I trying to sell you on my services. I'm not selling you. It doesn't cost you a dime anymore. I'm with Capital Title. So I sit down with you, I come up with a strategy that works for you, and I consult you and show you how to do it all yourself. And that's the best results. And that's why at the end, when I was with TVJ Media, I was saying, hey, we're no longer doing a lot of the packages we were offering, because the best results come from coaching, come from mentoring. Because again, I don't know your database. You know your database. You know who you're marketing to. You know that your buyers or sellers and what they want. I can just suggest and help you out with the technical side of things to get that going. And that's why I said, and that's why one of the guys, Ranger, he was in the class last time. He's like, Kyle, I want you to manage everything for me. I want you to do it for me. And I was like, Ranger, no, because I'm not going to do that, because I don't know your database. You know these people. It's not. And I was like, we haven't seen results from managing this stuff for them. The communication between the company and them just wasn't there. The management, it just didn't work out. The best results come from the agents that we have taught and mentored, and that we did that for. So that's the best part about Capital, is that's what I get to do. I get to help you guys develop your business, and you don't have to pay any kind of fee or anything. You can just come in, I'll show you. You can type it up. A guy came in the champion's office last week. His website was down. When he came in, totally down. He went to his website, it was showing nothing up. By the time he left, I had his website up and running for him. And he did it all himself. He sat there, he had his credit card. I was like, okay, you're gonna go here, you're gonna pay this guy to do it. And he did it, and he got his website. When he walked out, his website was up. And I know that he's gonna he told me, he's like, I got about some contracts, they're gonna come back to you for helping me out. I was like, all right, I appreciate that. So that's where I see the biggest benefit, is being able to sit down with each one of you saying, hey, this is what's been working for me, Kyle. This is what's not. I want this to work, or I want to phase this out. And that's where you're going to see is the one-on-one meetings. That's where you're going to get the best benefit. These classes are really good too. Don't get me wrong, but the one-on-ones is where, because each one of your databases is different. Marcia may be farming certain areas in Tomball, certain areas in Spring, certain listing prices, and you may be wanting to farm just the $1 million homes. That's all different marketing. That's all different people. So that's where the biggest return is definitely going to be in those. So home improvement tips, this is one of the easiest and the best type of email marketing campaigns. Another campaign that you could run simultaneously on your social media as well. So again, you're not double working, you're not sending out different things on email, you're not sending out different things on social media, your marketing is cohesive. So say for instance, I'm a Facebook fan of yours, I'm a big fan of Marsha, I'm a fan of her Facebook, I follow her I'm a big fan of hers on email. I'm receiving the same information. I'm getting, hey, if I look on Marsha's Facebook today, she's posting about how to renovate my kitchen. If I get an email next week, I know it's going to be how to renovate my bathroom, things like that. That way you're keeping all of your marketing cohesive, sending out the same messages, so when people sign up, they know exactly what they're getting, and it's all familiar. And you're not trying to put your what I like to call your fishing pole in different ponds. Because then you're just like I know real estate agents, y'all can relate to this, you're going everywhere. You're everywhere all the time. Your marketing does not need to be everywhere like you. Your marketing needs to be strategic and targeted. So keeping it all cohesive, that's the best result. Yes, sir.
And on those specific categories, are you suggesting that the agents should author their own recommendations, do organically, or adopting something that is already being used?
I would suggest adopt something that's already being used. My saying is that if it works, why redo it? If something is already,
don't fix it.
that's right. If there's something out there, and there's a few websites that come up off the top of mind that create this content for you, then use that. I mean,
You don't get penalized for utilizing something that is being reposted from another source.
Say that one
For
more time.
SEO, you get SEO penalized by using information that's already on the web.
No, not on social media. You wouldn't. But if you're putting that onto your website, you could be, yes. Don't, yeah. That if you're you reblogging things, then you
Document
could.
the source, don't you?
Yeah, if you document the source, it's a little bit better. But if you're going for the organic route, then what you would do is like I've talked to Marsha about this, is if you have your own blogs written, and then you have your blogs written out like that, using the same information that you're blogging about on your social media, and using it that way and directing traffic to your website, so that again you're not double working yourself. So if you're using the same content that you're blogging about onto your social media, you're not only saving yourself time, but again you're keeping your marketing cohesive, keeping it all in one place. So if you are going to be using like another source like that, it's perfectly fine on social media. Just don't post that onto your blog. But I think home improvement tips is probably one of the biggest things that you could, best things I think, not biggest, the best thing that you could do, because it not only does it trigger, it triggers things, oh man, I love this, I would like to do a kitchen like that, or I would love to do my bathroom like that. It triggers things that would lead to a sale or a transaction with you. You know, maybe I could do this. And Lori and I actually learned about renovation loans the other day. There's a brand new product out that a mortgage company is doing where they can, if the house is going for $250 and needs another $50,000 to work for it's really just the way you want it to be, they can put that loan on top of for just like 0.25% more or something in that range, and you can help get that house renovated and things like that. So I think that the home improvement tips, I think it's a great email marketing tactic, especially double team it with a product like what Lori and I learned about the other day. And I think she's going to be setting up a class in Magnolia about that specific product. That would be a good one to go to help put into your marketing. Industry and market updates. This is something we already talked about with the video, doing the video of the webcam video. But another thing is an industry update. So this way, like he was saying, like making something that everybody can relate to, not just that one specific target. An industry update is the perfect way to do that. Saying, hey, homes in the Houston area, are now selling at this rate. Homes and or you could do an industry update or that, or maybe the new policies about the closing, or now you have to refer to them as a consummation. I don't know if you've heard that or not, but the new regulations and all that. That's perfect information to supply as an industry update. The processes of consummating your home. That sounds a little weird, but is now totally different. Sending that information out to your buyers, they're going to want to know that, and the sellers too. I mean, that applies to both people there. More so, probably, I don't know, who would you say it affects more, the buyers or the sellers? Have y'all learned about the new closing? Who's done a closing with the new rules and stuff? Have you done it? Did you represent the buyer or the seller?
Buyer.
Right. So did it affect it? How did it affect it? Did it make it longer? Did it make it? How did it go?
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Mhm.
Okay, so that would be a good good thing. Providing an email. Hey, this new closing has gone, but that's why you should go with Robin. Is because it wasn't that bad. I've already done a closing this way, and that could be a great campaign to run. Providing those industry updates if there's new development, there's a Generation Park. Have y'all heard about that on the east side of Houston? The big thing going up over there. Providing us like, hey, I'm up to date on what's going on with real estate. Those are actually really good, and again, they can apply to everybody. And that will conclude the content of the campaign strategies for your email marketing. I hope you guys got a lot out of this class. If anything was over your head, if it kind of just went, whew, don't worry. I'll sit down with you and show you a personal one-on-one session. Hey, this is how this goes. So you can write this down and you can put it into your implementation, into your marketing, so that you can start doing these things again and not spending time behind the computer. My teachings, my lessons come from building relationships and making those relationships automated onto your email and social media, because that's where you get the most out of it. And because we can all agree that relationships is what builds business. So that's what I teach. I don't teach, hey, this is lead generation, this is what you're going to do to just strictly generate leads. That's not what I teach. I would teach relationship marketing using these platforms. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this class. I'm sorry if I was dry.
One last opinion.
Yes, sir.
Your thoughts on incorporating a video into the email strategy. Is it a plus? Is it not a plus? Should you go is it worth the extra effort is my question.
Very worth it. Like I said earlier, if you can take one campaign out of this class to implement into your email strategy, it's the video market update. It's you sitting in front of that camera, that webcam. Hey, this is what homes are for selling for, and it works because you're not only are you personally branding yourself, you're giving them an update of where homes are selling for, and this is valuable information to them. This is something people want to know. They want to say, man, I was already thinking about selling my home, but here's Marsha. She's sitting here in my face telling me this is what I need to do.
I always post it on YouTube.
Yes, what you can do is, I know Frank was talking about constant contact,
Yes.
how it's going to automatically post to YouTube for you once you do it. And it's going to be a video, it'll be on YouTube, and it'll send directly to so they don't have to click a link and then be directed. It should be automatically on the email. They can watch the video from the email.
Okay.
Yeah, MailChimp will do that also.
Yes, MailChimp does that as well.
Even the free version?
Yes, sir, you're welcome.
Yes, but only to a limited number of contacts. I think up to 500 in MailChimp, and then you have to start paying.
So thank you guys for your time today. I am very, very excited to be with Capital Title. I have a lovely team I'm working with. Lori is one of the marketing reps for Magnolia. If you ever have a closing over there. I'm working with Judy Sin and Karen Aaron and Jessica Sapio over at my office. They're really awesome ladies over there. If you have any questions about help closing with them, I'll be glad to help you out, do all that. I'm still in training. I'm still a little baby bird trying to get my wings right now. But training and helping you out develop your business is something I am good at, and can help you out with that. So I'd love to help you guys out, show you around at that office, and thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Mind to schedule those one-on-ones.